Hello everyone! Since I am recording, I should be cleaning, I should be packing, I should be getting ready to go, but nothing like a good distraction. I figured out how to make the little pocket book. I figured out where I was going wrong yesterday, so I thought I'd do a really quick video and show how I did the little mini pocket book. Try to do it real fast before I lose my light. I have made this from one piece of scrapbook paper. I am using double-sided scrapbook paper for this one. This one was just a plain color that I used. And there's a couple, there's a couple pockets put in. You need some extra paper for some pockets, but one sheet of paper for the basic book, and I cut 4 inches off of one end, and then I cut the other part in half, so it's 6 inches wide by 8 inches long. So that's what you want to do. You want to cut your pieces for your pages. It's got three pages, 3 signatures, three pages. And the first one, I guess I would need a ruler, and I probably need the bone folder. Trying to do this fast, but not too fast. I'm using the double-sided paper. So for the first page, it is a pocket, and I need to cut this down a little bit more. Don't remember exactly what I need to cut it down by. I'll figure it out. All right, so the pocket is this one, and you can't hardly see it because it's so dark, but there's a pocket here, and that pocket is it's not quite 2 inches, so I am going to, I'm going to say, let's do 1 3/4 inches. I'm going to score that and fold it up. And then this is the pocket. I got a little nick in that one. I should do it on the other side. I didn't cut that straight, so let me cut that part off. Let me do it again. 1 3/4. And stop moving around. Score it and fold it. That looks better. Now this book is, it's 3 inches wide and 4 inches tall. So this is the page, and we want it to be 4 inches tall. So I am going to go cut this off so that this is 4 inches tall. So let me go do that really, really fast. Don't have a paper trimmer, so I use my rotary cutter over here. So all I did was I made it 4 inches tall. Just cut this part off. You can use this as pockets for the other side. So we've got this, and what you want to do is fold that in half. You can fold it with the pocket on the inside or fold it with the pocket on the outside, whichever you prefer. I'm going to fold it to the inside. Just like that. So I've got 2 pockets here once I glue the ends. Now I've got this little piece of paper, and you know, I might just put pockets on this side as well, even though there is a little nick out of it because I was cutting too quickly. Let me cut just a little bit off of that. Let me make that 1 3/4. One 3/4, and I'm going to do that. So to finish off the pockets here, put a little bit of glue. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the side, the bottom, and the other side. And I am going to glue that down on the bottom. I'm going to make sure my pockets are on the bottom. Glue that and press it down. And I'm going to fold that because that little pocket right there is not folded. So I'm going to fold that and press it real good. So I've got pockets on one side. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this side here and a little bit of glue on the other side and fold that up and press the sides down just like that. And I am going to clean up my glue so I don't get glue on the rest of everything else while I'm doing this. All right. So that is one page. The next page, of course now it's all wet and I don't have anything to dry it off with. All right. The next page, what we want to do, the next page is a diagonal pocket. And what I did was, this is 8 inches tall, so I folded it long ways up and start in the center and go out just to make your corners fold nicely and stay together like they're supposed to. So this is 4 inches tall, like the book is. And what you want to do to make the pockets is, actually let's fold it in half the other way too so we know where to fold it. Start in the center and go out. So you want to make your diagonal pockets on one end. You want to diagonal fold that corner, not quite to that center fold, just off of it a little bit so the paper has a little room there. And the same thing with the other side. And then when you fold it up, this makes your pocket, okay? I am going to just glue the flaps down a little bit so they don't come up when we're using the book. Just a little bit. It doesn't have to be very, a lot. Making up words now. And I am just going to put a little bit of glue on the sides, right here and right on the other side, and fold that up. And that makes pockets here. We're going to sew this together, so when you sew it, actually I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right there on the tip, just for good measure, just like that. And then I'm going to fold that in half. And then we've got our little diagonal page right there. And then the last page, we're going to have to chop some of this one off too. Got glue everywhere already. All right. I am going to fold in this cover 1.5 inches on this side, just like that. And fold that. And we want this to be 6 inches. So we have to take 1.5, and 1.5 is 3, and 6 is 9. So we need to take 3 inches off of it. So I'm going to mark 3 inches. I'm going to cut that off. I should be doing my rotary cutter because it would be straighter. I am going to use my rotary cutter because I can hardly see that mark, but I'm cutting 3 inches off the end of that. I cut off 2 3/4 inches just to make the outside page a little bit larger. And then I'm going to do 1.5 inches on this side. Fold that in. Fold this in half. To make the first one. And to make the pockets, let me make sure that that is going to be good. It's going to be just perfect. So to make the pockets on this side, I've just put a little bit of glue on this edge and a little bit of glue on this edge and fold that in. And that makes a little pocket here on the end paper, right? Just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Just a little bit of glue on both these sides. Press that down. And clean up my glue. I'm going to put this glue away for just a second. And then put this on the outside. I like the diagonal pockets on the inside. They're a little bit more bulky, so I like them on the inside. And then you've got the pocket pages on this one, just like that. So you've got 3 pages to sew together. We'll sew that next. I probably should have brought a little book to punch some holes in, but of course I didn't, so I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to get a little a pointy needle, and I am going to use a paper clip to clip these guys together so they'll stay put on both sides, just for good measure, just to make sure that they stay put. And I am going to punch, I'm going to use a thimble to poke the holes. I'm going to punch 3 holes into this book. I'm just eyeballing it. I want one in the center, and I'm going to go all the way through. I kind of wiggle the needle around a little bit, make that hole kind of big so I can see it. I'm going to put another one about 1/4 inch down from the top all the way through, and wiggle it around, make that hole nice and big so I can see it. and 1/4 inch on the bottom. And it's not exact science, I am just eyeballing. If you put this in a book or a phone book or something, you'd be sure to get to the crease. And I probably should have shown you how to do that. Just so you can do that. And you can do any book that you're not going to want to read. I usually use a phone book, but I have this one here. And what you do is you put the book in the crease of the book, in the book, and then you poke your hole where you want to poke it. And this makes the seam, the fold of your book line up so that the hole goes to the other fold on the outside. So you can do that with all 3 holes. I didn't, of course. You saw me not do that, but the paper clips do keep it together pretty well. So now I've got 3 holes, and I am going to use some, oh dear, some embroidery floss. And I'm going to make that embroidery floss about 3 times larger than the book. Maybe just a little bit more so I have plenty to tie it with and I don't have to fuss. And I can use a needle that's not pointy. I can use kind of a blunt needle because I already have the holes poked. I don't have to threading the needle might be a little tricky. I do have trouble nowadays with threading needles, but that seemed to work this time. All right. So we are going to start from the back of the book in the center, and we're just doing a 3-hole pamphlet. You can see the hole. If you can't see the hole, you can mark it with some pencil or something. But bring the thread through the hole all the way. You want to leave a tail, a nice tail, and I usually hold on to it with my thumb so it doesn't go all the way through, because you'll have to just do it all over again if it goes all the way through. And you can go to the top or the bottom. This is the bottom. It doesn't matter which one. And go all the way through to the other side. Okay. And then all the way to the opposite hole. And in. Sometimes you got to wiggle it a little bit to find all the holes. Sometimes. Still hang on to your tail. Make sure the tail doesn't slip through. And pull that up. Okay, so that's what you've got. And what you want to do is you're going to go through the hole that already has a thread in it. Now, you don't want to split that thread. Kind of pull your tail one towards you, towards your other hand, to get it out of the way. So when you put the needle in, it goes to it does not go through the other thread. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you do. It's a small book. It's not going to matter too much. But if you do this on a larger book, you're going to want not to go through the thread. It makes it a little stronger. It keeps the thread strong if you don't split it. So what you have here is this thread goes from top to bottom. You can see that. Okay. And you've got these 2 threads that are coming up through the middle. You want to make sure that everything is pulled pretty tight. That these threads are not loose on both sides. And you want to make sure that one tail of your thread is on one side of this string and the other tail is on the other side of the string. So you can see, okay? And then you want to just tie a knot around, well, take the needle out, and it doesn't want to go back into the pincushion. Tie a knot, make sure your threads are tight. Just tie a double knot right there. Okay, nothing tricky about that. And then you've got these little strings that you can tie some beads on or some buttons on or some little danglies, whatever you want. And you've got your little book, just like that. Now I've added a couple of extra little pockets to mine, to the other one. This is a blank page, and you know, I could take a piece of paper. This one is cut to 3 inches, and I can make a pocket out of that. That's something not quite so wide. And then I can glue that pocket on there, cut it off, and you know, or I can use the extra piece and, you know, make a, let's do that side, and just make a cute little pocket. It needs to be 3 inches. So let's measure that against itself. Bring up the bottom. Now I'm going to cut off these corners here just to get the bulk out of there. Just like that. And I put the sides in first and then the bottom. Let's measure it before I put the glue on it, make sure it's okay. Sure. Actually, I'm going to bone fold it just a little bit, make it a little bit more crisp. I need to cut off that little bit. There's a little tiny hangnail there. It needs to be cut off so it's not sticking out. You can angle it just a little bit so that that won't happen. And then I am going to add glue to the corners here. Bring the bottom up and put glue on all those sides and just glue that pocket to that page, just like that. Make sure that that's good and munched down. And that gives you a nice little pocket there. So that is, and then you can add, for this one I added a paper clip and an envelope. I didn't put a pocket on that side. So you've got all these pockets now. Where did that little paper doll go? Here he is. And you can put some heavy books or heavy somethings on top of here for a little while and make it stay flat. It'll help to press it. So you've got a pocket in the cover, pocket here, a pocket here, the pocket we just made, the corner pockets, and this is all nicely sewn in, so that is a very sturdy pocket now. So both those diagonals are very sturdy. There's no pocket on this page, but there's pockets here and here and in the back cover. So it's just a cute little book that you can add all kinds of paper dolls and tags and all kinds of fun stuff. It makes a fun little gift. So I hope that was understandable. pretty easy, not too long of a process. I hope you have fun with it. Thanks for watching.